15.
All eyes are on the top players at this time of year. What have they changed? What have they done in the off-season? Iga had plenty of time to prepare. She also went to Abu Dhabi for the World Tennis League. Got some matches in. Oh, that's a nasty little opener there from Muchova. Tactically, Andrea, what are we looking for?
15.
Well, I think that both players will try to play their game because it is so devastating if they can manage to bring it on the court. Iga will try to make this very physical, try to take time away from Karolina, who will use all the shots in the book, as we saw here with the drop shot, changing the rhythm and pace. Try to rattle Iga, if that's even possible. But this promises to be a fantastic match. I've seen the last two between those two, and the quality of tennis was mind-blowing at times.
Won't be too much of easing themselves into this matchup. It's Mac 10 all the way here. Just got a bit close into the body. This shot right there. Still tried to go down the line, Iga Swiatek. Already some tense moments here. You can see it right there. Just doesn't have the right distance to the ball. We'll keep an eye on that, but I do think that the slice of Muchova is better placed into the backhand side, as we saw in the previous point. When Iga has time on the forehand, she actually handles the change of rhythm quite well. opening service game that's safely away for the Polish #1.
First game.
Laura Robson is courtside from a British #1. Laura, how are you seeing this contest?
It's quite humid here down by the court, guys. A little bit sweaty already, which is probably more information than you needed. But I think both striking the ball really nicely early on. Sam, you and I were watching a lot of Iga's practice earlier, and it looked like she was working on the forehand line, trying to get it a bit higher off to Muchova's backhand. I'm thinking opposite now as a lefty, and just trying to generate a bit more height, it seemed. But yeah, I thought she was super relaxed pre-match and enjoying her new partnership with Wim.
Yeah, when Laura and I were out there, she was doing a lot of cross-court, forehand, and then line, and the same backhand, line. You know, very quick transitions.
Yeah.
Looks, when we had a good sort of comfortable chemistry out there. They've had a few months to start working. First tournament was back at the WTA finals.
Czechia, Karolina Muchova, 2 sets.
Nicely done. And what Laura just spoke about, that higher topspin to the backhand side, that is, I don't even want to say weakness, because she really doesn't have weaknesses, Karolina, but she doesn't like playing Coco Gauff, and one of the reasons she doesn't like playing Coco Gauff is because of that higher topspin forehand down the line into the backhand of Muchova. So possibly on the strategic plan today for Swiatek and team Poland.
Karolina or Kaya, to her friends, currently ranked at 22 in the world, but has been as high as top 10. She's a former semi-finalist at the Australian Open, and was a runner-up at Roland Garros, and a terrific three-setter to her opponent today.
That is her bread and butter, that forehand from the center of the court, particularly when she can control the center of the court with her forehand. Really hard to read.
Starting to light up now. And a very convincing service game from the Czech.
Game. Love hitting.
Well, and speaking of bread and butter, controlling the forehand, the center of the court with the forehand. That, of course, is also Swiatek's big strength, and these two women will try to look for as many forehands from the middle of the court as they can.
Oh, so explosive.
Laura, that looked quite heavy, those two forehands.
Yeah, she's just accelerating so well, and we saw in the previous match that the forehand swing looks a little bit more abbreviated than the end of last season, and it just looks like she's got a bit more time to work with it. Sometimes she looks a bit rushed on that side, but definitely not today.
Yes, this is a very good test, isn't it, for also the modifications on the serve from the pre-season. I don't call it the off-season anymore because
there's no off-season.
There isn't an off-season, but it'll get its first proper test here. Oh, that's special.
Yes.
And there's a few warning shots already from Muchova here. And once again, a comfortable service game. There's a little more tricky.
That's a nice serve, and Laura just talked about the slightly abbreviated motion on the forehand for Swiatek. Muchova, on the other hand, seems to have worked on her return positioning. She starts quite far behind the baseline, but moves into the court even more than she did in the previous season. You can see it there. She ends on the line. Starts close to the Sydney sign, but then ends up on the line, returns there, tries to be more aggressive.
Oh, she's going to cause all sorts of problems.
Yes.
That change-up was delicious. It was like she wasn't quite expecting the slice to drop in on the back of the baseline the way that it did, but straight away the transition. I mean, she was coming forward there no matter what.
And it's always a bad sign for the opponent when Karolina is taking her backhand down the line. It's always a sign of confidence in her game, in her backhand, in her ground strokes.
Well, the gloves have come off very early here from both women. So much at stake, a place in the quarterfinal. Whoever wins this Czechia-Poland matchup. Poland with all the work to do to keep it alive. An early chance now for the Czech. There's the break. And Czechia put down an early marker.
Team Czechia leads 2-1.
Well, that gives us something to talk about, doesn't it? Wow. A meaty opening 3 games.
Yes. Cracking start from Muchova, I have to say. She's trying to be so aggressive. And she is taking Iga's desire to control every single aspect of those rallies away from her. That's why she has gotten this break. Iga looks a bit rushed.
Watching women, Iga on the practice court an hour or so ago. Wim is a very methodical and thorough kind of coach. I think he also realizes less is more with Iga. Well, you've joined us at absolutely the right junction here in what could be one of the best matches of this entire United Cup. Iga Swiatek with new coach Wim Fawcett on the far end there. They have real-time data, and then you know Wim pretty well. He loves the stat, doesn't he? He's very keen and very across that part of the game and all the innovations.
Yeah, very up to date, and that will be a challenge of this relationship. How many or how much information does he give to Iga Swiatek, who tends to overthink? She loves the analysis part of the game as well. Has to keep it nice and simple, but he's very experienced. And this is the first big challenge of this new season for Iga Swiatek.
Comes quickly, doesn't it? You only get to ease your way in.
Exactly. This is just we're I don't know how many hours into the new year here in Australia, and it's already. You see here, the top players in general are very good front runners. So is Muchova, wins 90% of sets when she breaks early.
They're keen to bite back here very quickly, as the champions are so good at. We're very aware that the ball is coming right at her. chance for the immediate breakback. Right on cue for Swiatek. Oh, it's a fabulous response.
Team Poland. Two games ahead.
Laura, you're with Team Poland. You've picked a good moment to be there.
Yes, exactly. Great moment to chat to Alicia Rozalska. Perfect timing with the break of serve. What do you feel like Iga's doing well so far in this match?
Yes, I think Iga is trying to still find her the highest level, because today the opponent is really good. We know that Karolina can challenge her with basically every shot. She's returning very good. She's coming to the net, so it's putting pressure. So Iga definitely will have to raise the highest level of today to show, and hopefully kind of catch the first point for Poland today.
I mean, it doesn't get much tougher start to the new year, does it? Playing Karolina, first match back. I mean, what in this specific matchup do you think she has to do well? It seemed like she was looking to go for the forehand line a bit more today.
Yes, I was surprised, because when I watched last time Karolina, I thought that she's more defensive with the backhand, but today she already showed that she's like taking forward, she's coming to the net, so she will try to take the balls earlier and basically close the points at the net. But Iga have to also stay aggressive and not let her do that. We could see already that she also, when she has chances, she's trying to get to the net first before Karolina, so it's gonna be, I think, the fight between who's gonna stay more aggressive and yeah, do less mistakes with this aggressive play.
Best of luck for the rest of the match.
Thank you.
I think, Elisa, we're very welcome in our commentary box. That was a brilliant summary and précis and a dissection of exactly what needs to happen out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're hired. Oh, yes.
Again, that really high aggressive stance. You can see Iga motioning to the box like, what can I do? This was a great second serve, and it was 157 k's an hour. That is a change that Karolina is looking for in this new season. More aggressive returns.
That's it, 15.
There it is again.
13.
And Iga loves that kick serve on the second serve, or sometimes she switches us to the slice. I think she'll have to look for some body serves here with that way of return Karolina is going for. She starts on the line and then has this big leap forward. You have to try and jam her if you can.
Muchova back on serve after a couple of breaks in this first set.
Team Poland leads 3 games to 2.
Poland versus Czechia is perfectly poised right now. The Czechs currently topping the group, but it's all to play for in this matchup. Whoever wins 2 of the 3 matches will go through to join Italy in the quarterfinals here in Sydney. For once, it's really simple. They both had very comfortable wins over Norway, as expected.
I still want to see your calculator come out, Sam.
She will need it when Australia and your home country, Laura, Great Britain, face off, because that is very complicated. You need a math degree for that one.
Love it.
Half season last year for Karolina. She injured her wrist on her semi-final run to the US Open back in 2023. That was in September. Elected to have surgery in February. Came back on the grass at Eastbourne, and it was her right wrist. So that has taken an awful lot of sorting out. And confidence as well.
It goes quick for her, right? She's had these injury timeouts, comes back and plays well fairly quickly, but it is a setback every time and a battle back to the top. Beautiful, and we talked in the previous match about Karolina's preferred service area. She goes wide, so she opens the court and then likes to go into the open space, whether that is with a volley, as shown right here, or with a ground stroke. And you know it's coming, but you can't do anything against it.
That's the last forehand that you feel like Iga needs to use a bit more of today, just with a bit more angle on it, slightly lower over the net from down here, and just to continue varying the height over the net so that Muchova isn't able to take the ball on the rise like she wants to.
40.
That's a great example of what you were saying. And you know that because you faced Karolina at the French Open a few years ago, and you're standing well over in that tram, ready to go.
Absolutely, but the thing is, she keeps you honest because she plays the T serve often enough, so you can't fully protect the wide one.
That really messes with your mind, doesn't it?
I know. Tell me about it. But in the important moments, she tends to go for those wide serves.
These two are such different kinds of players, aren't they? Muchova, it's all silky, smooth. And with Iga, it's far more sort of industrial and gritty. Both games so effective, but very different.
And we saw a few of these misses by Muchova, those close next to the line, and that is what Iga Swiatek does to you with her incredible defensive skills, makes the court feel so small on the other side that you feel you have to do just a bit more.
Poland is very much here at this Ken Rosewell Arena. It's another break.
Team Poland.
And what a response from the world number 2.
Very impressive, Laura. I think that Iga seems to have some more energy, more resilience. I don't know, maybe that's just the beginning of the year, but played even better after going down that break.
Yeah, I think for me, from the side, it was that she wasn't so fussed about it. She wasn't stressed. You know, she got straight back to work. Obviously, it helps when you've got your coach sitting right next to you. But sometimes in previous matches, even early on in the scoreline, you could see that she was a bit frustrated. And she is such a perfectionist that if it wasn't 100% from the first point of the match, it was like already quite nerve-wracking from the side. Whereas I'm not getting that energy whatsoever. And you know, this is arguably one of the toughest matchups that she can face. And I was chatting to Wim well, a couple of weeks ago now in Riyadh, and he said one of the main things that he wants to work on is when the scoreline does get tough, that Iga doesn't get sucked into overplaying, especially when she's up against the big hitters this year. He doesn't want her to go strike for strike against a Sabalenka and try and outpower people, because that's just not what her game style needs to be. You know, her weapons are the athleticism, the topspin over the forehand. And I feel like even this early on in the season, we're kind of seeing already what they've been working on.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Great nuggets from your research in Saudi, Laura. Laura, I like that. Team Poland now breaking clear. And real momentum for Swiatek.
40-13.
Kim Daniel Varcek, could play himself top 30. That closes the door on that service game. And Team Poland 5-2 first set.
Team Poland leads 5 games to 2.
Well, the tennis season began a few days ago, but we saw in the new year last night, spectacular as ever. And I'm told about 1.5 million crammed round the quayside, and if you couldn't get a vantage point anywhere in the CBD, you could hear the fireworks at 9 o'clock for the youngsters, and for those who had to get up and work this morning, and then the midnight show.
So you were also went to the children ones. As did I, Sam, as did I.
It's called working on New Year's Day. It changes your life, Andrea. An ideal start for Team Poland because they are trailing in this matchup. They need to win the women's singles and the mixed doubles to book their place in the quarterfinals. So that's where we are, really well poised here.
And if you saw the fireworks last night over Sydney, I'm seeing the fireworks in Iga Swiatek's game. I have to say I'm very impressed ever since she went down the early break. She's been absolutely brutal from the ground. Looking very good out here.
I'm impressed with that segue, Andrea.
That was nice, right?
That was lovely.
I'm getting a hang of TV after 2 years in it.
Thomas Mahash his work in the men's singles is done. We'll see him back for the mixed doubles. You can never completely switch off in these team events, but it's certainly given Muchova a platform and put the Poles under real pressure coming into this women's singles. Well, broken in her last couple of service games after a very good start in the early break. perfect.
14.
Nicely done here. Came out on top in the cross-court rally. Off the forehands, got the short one to attack. That's what she needs to look for. She needs more neutral balls. Swiatek hasn't given her many ever since she was a breakup here, Muchova.
Oh, it is fast and furious here on New Year's Day.
Yes.
And just strategically, I wonder what Laura thinks. I don't think the backhand slice to Iga's forehand is working. I don't think she has won any of those.
Wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
And she's going for more of the short backhand slice as well, which plays even more into Iga's hands because she accelerates so well. She already has that natural drop in her wrist when she's following through.
So would you like to see her use the slice to the backhand?
I do think so. I think generally, this is very simplified, but generally speaking, you want to rush Iga Swiatek into the forehand with flat hard shots, and you want to change the rhythm via Iga's backhand. Trying to do that is very hard because she is one of the best players in the world.
That's an excellent hold. And on we go in this first set.
Team Poland leads 5 games to 3.
A few words from Captain Daniel. Wonder whether he has told her to maybe do that little tactical adjustment on those backhand slices. Just a bit of hesitation from Swiatek. Goes to the towel. Takes some time.
And Laura, is this the moments that you, when you had that conversation with him, that he's talking about, that not getting into a kind of a bashing contest?
Yeah, I don't think that was what that mistake was, though. It just looked like she wanted to do too much with it.
Okay.
Because to me, from the side here, she's still looking really relaxed. She's going to the towel. She's still sticking to the routines. It doesn't look like that was a mistake from stress, like sometimes you can see.
Okay. Oh, she's got her again.
15-14.
3 breaks so far in this opening set. An opportunity to get back on level terms.
Yes.
That is just so good. Both break points saved with winners.
It was a bit surprising to not see the return go down the line, though.
Yeah, true. She did that all, maybe just to try to keep it a bit safer by aiming for the center of the court. That's the one. That is that top spin, heavy forehand into the backhand side that Muchova sometimes mistimes.
50 minutes on the clock. It's been fascinating. Team Poland with a chance to close out this first set. Iga taking the first by 6 games to 3. Muchova currently the #2 Czech behind reigning Wimbledon champion Barbora Krejcikova. There is certainly strength in numbers. She's one of 7 Czechs on the women's tour inside the world's top 50.
Just take a look of how quickly she's up to that short ball. There is no step back, no reaction time. Just right back on it.
30.
So a few of these double faults have peppered her performance so far. Broken twice in the opening set. Difficult than it looked on the face of it. So used to Karolina serving and volleying that we're a little surprised when she doesn't quite execute. She makes it look so smooth and straightforward and so instinctive.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
I've had a game to think about what I want to tell Andrea here. No, I feel like the biggest difference from courtside is that Iga's footwork around the ball just looks that little bit more sharp than her opponent's. And you mentioned it on the short ball off the net cord. There's no hesitation, but it's like that for every single shot right now, where it's very hard to get her off balance. So if anything, I would say Karolina can go faster down the line. She's used the backhand line a lot with the return, but not so much in the rallies. Now and again she's throwing it in, but I think she's kind of going too stuck playing on Iga's terms. When Iga's adding height, then Karolina's straight back behind the baseline. So it's definitely a challenge right now to find a way to get Iga off balance, but if anyone can do it, it's going to be Muchova.
Wonderful start to the game.
There was that down the line that Laura just talked about. Just trying anything in her power, Muchova, to get Swiatek off balance, which it was not been easy today.
Well, you mentioned it before, that is very hard to do, but the play in simple terms is to rush Iga's forehand side, and I think you can afford to go back behind more often and then open the line when she's finally on that outside leg.
Love 13, her last service game, serving out for the first set. Handled it very well. She knows these little doors will be there from time to time because she's just got to push them right open.
That's the type of pressure that Iga Swiatek puts on you with her intensity and how she goes about each and every point. Sammy mentioned it in one of her matches. Reminds me too a lot of Steffi Graf in that regard. So when you do have that door of opportunity, sometimes you overplay because you just feel so rushed and pressured by her at all times.
A Belgian in the Polish camp. We've got used to this in tennis, haven't we? It's so international these days. And a very good hold from Love 30.
I use the football analogy to describe Iga's game. Pep Guardiola has invented a type of game which is called pressing, where the defenders are so up high and they keep putting pressure on you until you make a mistake, and that's how it feels playing Iga Swiatek. She's so up on your throat at all times that eventually you will have an error of decision, you will rush something you shouldn't have rushed, and boom, the door is slammed again, the door of opportunity.
It really feels like Iga's winning the battle of depth today as well. With her backhand side, she's just not giving up any ground, and even when she's rushed on the two-hander, she's creating some really nice shape over the ball still. And then, you know, vice versa, when it drops short on Iga's side, it's point over.
Beautifully done.
15. 30.
That rally was a perfect example of what Laura just talked about. The moment anything drops short in the Polish side, it's game over.
Oui.
40-30.
Looked like that was going to go long.
The Muchova shot.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Let's take a look if she pulled back. Yeah, didn't quite commit to it.
My eyesight's not what it once was. But
Too good.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And that high press paying dividends here. Swiatek coming up a third break of the Muchova serve.
Team Poland.
The double doing the damage. And Team Poland in charge now of this women's singles.
Team Poland leads 2 games to.
Discussions will continue, but this is a fairly well-trodden path by so many of the tennis players. The French were at Taronga Zoo before the start of this United Cup. It's quite handy because it's so close to the CBD. I don't know if they saw any of those though. That is Flammy, the pink inflatable blow-up flamingo that has become the Polish mascot. He's not watching the tennis though, is he? He's looking the wrong way. So Team Poland fighting their way back, and it's winner takes all out here. Oh, mascots everywhere. I think Flammy the flamingo might win the battle with the mini koala. Swiatek looking to take this to the mixed doubles, where I'm pretty sure we're going to see her again.
really interesting, that changeover. Iga was telling her coach that she could feel her focus dipping in and out, and it's been a slightly more up and down in the second set, but I mean, from the side, she's doing a pretty decent job, if that's the case.
I would take that wobbling concentration anytime for my job here.
Love the team.
Sensational.
15. Let's see, 15.
Swinging freely now, Muchova.
13.
This could be, in a few weeks' time, quarter-final at the Australian Open, semi-final.
Absolutely, yeah.
Both have been to the last 4.
The beauty of United Cup, you have these big clashes in the early rounds already, in the round robins.
That's
Wow, what a high level.
yes.
I have a sense that both of them will be happy if they could find this sort of form even in a couple of weeks' time, and they're just building up now here.
Absolutely.
They've hit top gear very quickly. Superb. Check now with her first break point since she broke Swiatek for the last time since she broke her. Actually, scrap that. It's a long time since she's had a break point. Since she broke her Swiatek in right at the start of that first set, all over the place here.
Television, winning team Poland.
She dug out that backhand so well there. It was a proper little nudge, and there was not much room to maneuver that one around.
And we saw a few defensive down the line shots from both players, really. Do not try this at home. Only these high-class athletes can pull that actually off, to have that stability in the lower and upper body. It's really mesmerizing to watch. frustration showing for Muchova. You rarely see that. That's the type of pressure she's been under today.
Yes.
This potentially could be one of those matches where, say hypothetically, Swiatek wins 3-3, 3-2, and the scoreline does not reflect how tight the match has been. I mean, these can still turn. This may be the last moment that we might get a big gear change. See what Muchova can do right here.
Advantage, Team Poland.
The bird.
Lovely combination. And staying close here. Longest game of the contest so far. Fourth deuce.
Caught that one in the last moment. The birds tried their best to distract the players.
Thank you.
And we're still in this game.
Advantage, Team Czechia.
And this is a third successive service game that Swiatek's really got to find a way to battle out of. The Polish say 3 from 4 break points so far in the contest.
Yes.
And Laura, that is straight from the practice court, isn't it, earlier on today?
Yeah, we saw that probably 30 times in a row, didn't we?
A couple of cross courts and then bang! Look at the strength on that outer leg.
Just wow.
advantage, Team Poland.
We're getting the full works from Iga Swiatek. And something else we picked up from the practice court. I think she's done a lot of volley work with Wimkus now taking one hand off that backhand side.
Yeah, you wouldn't see that.
No, normally she'd bunt it through with two hands. I think you had a two-handed backhand volley, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So,
A fabulous
It
double-handed.
was superb. Nothing against the double-handed backhand volley, I must say. Digging out another service game. Big hold.
Team Poland leads 3-1.
And we talked about Muchova's backhand down the line. Some came in, some didn't, but she needs to continue to do that because look at this, Swiatek backhand hit points. There are a few behind the baseline, but there are a lot inside the baseline. On the contrary, have a look at this. Muchova backhand hit points are almost all behind the baseline. She's being pushed back further and further and further, and she needs to bail out of these backhand cross-court rallies. That's why we see the backhand down the line.
And that's the high press that you were talking about. Just
That's the high
pushing your opponent back. What's your football team? Are you a football fan?
I am, but you wouldn't know them because they are so bad. I'm not a fair weather fan, Sam.
Okay. No, I wouldn't think you are. They're the Darmstadt Rovers or something like that?
Darmstadt 98.
Okay,
correct.
your
The
local
Lilies.
team. You're a real fan. Well, hello.
Well done. Well done. Now listen, I wouldn't want to be part of the WTA tour when Iga Swiatek figures out that she can play at the net too.
She was the MVP of the doubles match the other night.
That's true.
Look at this. Volleying combination there. Great man, Ken Rosewell will be very impressed.
Let's see if it's in.
Look at that. She is a calm soul, isn't she? Almost too laid back sometimes. It's going to really face it. Needs a hold here. The Czechs can still go to the mixed doubles and progress to the quarterfinals. Pressure still all on Poland to get this singles win. Has this suddenly become a grass court? What's happening out here?
She could afford to do a bit more of that, though. The serve and volley, when you're playing such a good returner who's getting so much deep, take that away from them.
Well, Muchova thought it was wide on a forehand tramline, almost stopped. Can't do that in a rally against Iga Swiatek. very tight second set. 3 of the 4 games. On to juice. And this a 5th.
Advantage team Czechia.
I haven't seen many of those, but that is the type of shot. That's why I think for Muchova it would be better to try the slice backhands via the Swiatek backhand, where she doesn't have quite the wrist work she has on the forehand side.
Huge hold. And the Czechs stay in touch in this second set.
Team Poland leads 3 games to 2.
Still very much on the line here. A place in the quarterfinals to join Italy here in Sydney. Kazakhstan are going to take on Germany over in the west. And China will be up against the Americans.
Time.
Britain taking on Australia. A very complicated Group F. In the evening session later on this afternoon. Great footwork once again. A lot of success here at the United Cup. It's been 9 of her 10 matches. The only one that she slipped up on was on debut a couple of years ago against Jessica Pegula, but an asterisk against that because she'd flown from Perth the previous day. You always get the sense that any chance to put on the Polish tracks, the Iga's there.
Yeah,
Every time. It's great to have one of the best players in the world wanting to be here. And Hubie have a great relationship, quite a duo, so close 12 months ago. Steadying hold from the pole.
A few of those backhands by Muchova down the line, flying long. That's the thing with the backhand down the line. If you go down the line, you have to commit fully. The distance is shorter, the net is higher. If you decide to go there, it has to be 100% decisively. Otherwise, it's a very challenging shot to pull off.
That is a gorgeous volley.
One time to have the balance in life that Muchova has at the net. That is my goal for 2025. Look at that.
She comes from a long line of top Czech female volleyers, doesn't she? Could have grown up watching Iga Swiatek and Helena Sukova. A better ending. 15-all. After all that, you've got to pick yourself up and serve again and get back to the line.
That's not easy.
She was back really quick though.
Yep.
Didn't even take the full 25.
Let's facilitate.
And you see that rally from Iga. She is adapting to, Laura mentioned it, Iga normally likes to return with a lot of depth. dipping some of those returns into the feet of Muchova.
Muchova staying close in the second set.
New balls, please. Team Poland leads 4 games to 4.
Over the line, they're in the driving seat. They need one more match win to make it through the quarterfinals. It's all on the line here.
Time.
Czechia or Poland through to the last day. Poland need to win this singles and the mixed doubles to go through. A lot of discussion there.
Yeah, well, from the very limited Czech that I speak actually Serbian, but it is a Slavic language, so you can pick up something sometimes. I think that Muchova's coach told her to try and get the slice when she plays it on the backhand, more to the backhand of Iga. I mentioned that one shot she missed on the backhand side. And if you're so inclined, just watch Swiatek's footwork after the serve. That is some of the best in the world, and I'm speaking across all genders. So dynamic.
sensing a moment here. Yes, they are.
30-14.
And she had a couple of chances to break earlier in this set. What can she do here? She's back level.
Some incredible returning of Muchova's racket throughout the entire game here.
4 games on.
She gets rewarded with the break. Just read all the serves, Laura, didn't she?
Yeah, read the serves, and that's kind of the first bit of frustration that we've seen from Iga as well, the reaction after that point. I think she's more annoyed with how she played the ad points, those 15-30, and then when she had the 15 love as well, just those loose errors came creeping in.
Muchova was unfazed by dropping the opening set against Iga Swiatek. She's done it in all their meetings now, but only on one occasion has she come back to win, and that was a long time ago, 5-6 years ago, in Prague on the clay. The first encounter came back to win 6-4 in the decider. There's a long way to go before anything like that unfolds here.
Okay.
Anything you can do, I can do better.
That was a little bit of return of wrath as well. There was some frustration from the previous game in that one.
Well, we're getting a treat here, aren't we? And it's a match that has promised a lot and so far has delivered.
I've been waiting for that sort of serve. It feels like on the juice side, she's kind of rolling the first serve in a bit more, not going for the all-out power. And just to change the trajectory of it, the speed of it, catches Iga off guard.
Just the one that Laura was talking about, up that for that roll in into her favorite side, the wide one, but just didn't have enough on it, and Iga Swiatek was the one dominating the point from the get-go.
Thank you.
Chance to go up a break once more here. one game away from leveling this Poland-Czechia matchup.
Team Poland leads 5 games to 4.
Poland are on the way back. And Andrea, this is the most that we've seen a Wim actually, you know, have a discussion with Iga. He's been, you know, a few words here and there, sat down, but he was there the entire changeover.
Yeah, giving some last instructions, and I saw Laura keeling over, trying to understand something. I did the same thing. Unfortunately, it's too noisy in the stadium. Or did you pick anything
I think I got it.
Oh,
he was saying,
nice.
keep focusing on your side of the net. If she hits a big return off a good serve, then you don't worry about it, and you just move on.
What ears, Laura Robson.
Yeah, so the eavesdropping position that I dropped into, yeah, it did the job.
Nice.
I think it's part of what we've been talking about through the match, though. Their new philosophy is to just worry about her game style a bit more and not try and get sucked into overplaying when you feel like your opponent's done one good shot.
And it is the art of tennis, really, to recognize when you have to do more and when it's just enough, and you have to accept that the opponent played a good game. This is more than good enough what Iga Swiatek has been showing today.
40-13.
What a great test of the new service motion. And Poland with match point.
Thank you.
Not yet.
Yes.
Those red and white flags will just have to wait a little longer, or maybe much longer, who knows?
Yeah, what a beautiful angle. Look at that. That's the three-quarter position that many players are opting for now. What a match.
Well, let's start the new year off with some drama, shall we? Are we in line here for a third consecutive break at the back end of this second set?
Yes. Advantage team Poland.
Second chance to close here.
It's
a New Year's Day special.
6-3, 6-4.
Poland are back in business, and it's going to go down to the mixed doubles. A straight sets win for Swiatek over Muchova, but the scoreline does not tell the story of this contest. What a battle. Just shy of 2 hours